We have some huge breaking news from the NHL draft. The host team, the Montreal Canadiens, have just completed 2 pretty significant trades. We'll get into the details coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. We have some breaking news from the draft. The Montreal Canadiens were expected to make a big splash, and they have done just that. They've completed 2 trades that kind of go hand in hand here together. First up, they've traded young defenseman Alexander Romanov and the 98th pick in tonight's draft to the New York Islanders in exchange for pick number 13 in tonight's first round of the NHL draft. So in that deal, the New York Islanders, who we know wanted to add another defenseman, get a really young, dynamic defenseman. Romanov probably hasn't quite hit his peak yet. He still has some development to do, but certainly a very promising defenseman who's not going to cost a ton of money for the time being, so it helps them with their cap needs. The Islanders were very much rumored to be involved with some trade talk around JT Miller involving this same pick. Obviously, that wasn't going to work out, and they pivoted here to the Habs for this Romanov trade. So the Montreal Canadiens then take that number 13 pick, and they combine it with the number 66 pick, and they trade it to Chicago for young centerman Kirby Dach. Of course, we know Kirby Dach was a former 3rd overall pick just a few years back. Certainly, we knew the Hawks were open to just about anything and everything. Traded Alex DeBrincat earlier to Ottawa. Nobody on that roster is off limits. They intend to basically tear things down, and I think they're going to be basically going for the Connor Bedard sweepstakes next season and probably going into tank mode is what it looks like here. But certainly, Dach, we know, is a very promising young centerman who obviously the Montreal Canadiens are quite high on. So that's a pretty significant trade. I mean, the crowd was pretty shocked when Gary Bettman came out and said he had 2 trades to announce, both involving the hometown Montreal Canadiens. Absolutely crazy. So this is, I'm not sure what to make of this. They hopefully learned their lesson from trading a young Mikhail Sergachev, which is, similar in a lot of ways to Romanov. Not exactly the same kind of D, but similar enough, and that deal didn't work out. Hopefully this one turns out a little bit better. I know it's a different regime and everything, but still, they've added a lot of young D as well. They signed Jordan Harris. They got Caden Gooley on the way. They have a lot of other young, promising D coming to the Habs organization. So I guess they felt they could afford to make this move while bolstering the center. So the Habs, of course, we also know, went off the board and selected Jerard Fagerberg first overall. They did not select Shane Wright. So they've added the big Slovakian winger, who's expected to be a pretty powerful power forward here. In my opinion, I think he's the most ready NHL prospect in this draft as well. So certainly, adding Slafkovsky, and of course now they add Dach. So we'll see how that works out for them. Love to know your thoughts on everything down in the comments. Big night in Montreal. They're not afraid to be bold. That much we can say for sure. Let me know your thoughts, and of course, if you're new, subscribe so you don't miss anything here. We'll keep you up to date with all the news from the NHL draft, free agency, and everything else this offseason. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.